Alright, first graders, we're going to draw some ghosts that glow in the dark. The first thing we want to do is change the background to black, so we will go to the paint bucket, and then with one click we'll fill the whole screen with black paint. Next, we'll go back to the brush. We want to make it look like there's grass on the ground, and grass at night would be a kind of a darker green. So we'll get one of these darker greens up here, and then change our brush, and there happens to be a brush that looks like grass. It's called Flora 6 right here. Click on that one and then click on the arrow and that will go away. We want to adjust the size. This is a little bit small to be painting grass. So we're going to go up here to where it says diameter. Diameter is a kind of a fancy long word which basically means size when we're talking about our brush. Right now it's at 30 px. Px stands for pixel. We want to take that and change it to, let's see, maybe somewhere around 70 something would be good. We're going to start on the left part of the screen, and you don't want to just go straight across or it's just going to be blurry like that. Let me undo that. What you want to do is start here, click and hold your mouse down, and then move up and down as you move to the right. And see how that looks kind of like grass? I'm going to come in here and even some of this out a little bit. And I want to fill in the bottom part here with green as well, but instead of coloring it in, I'm just going to go back to the paint bucket and fill it in. Now be careful that you start way over on this edge with the grass and go all the way over to the right edge, because if you leave a hole, remember that that green paint is going to leak out and fill the sky with green. Now I've come back here to my brush and I am filling in all that extra space. There we go. Next, we're going to draw a tree. And to do that, let's choose Oil Brush 4 right here. I like that one because it gives a nice texture to what we draw. And we're going to make the diameter. Remember, diameter means size. We're going to make the diameter smaller than it is right now. Maybe down to 40-ish is probably. Let's go back down to like 30 something. All right, and we'll come down here to our swatches and choose a brown color, maybe make it a little bit darker. Now we can draw our tree. Oops. Let's see, and that doesn't have to be any particular shape as long as it kind of goes up and down there. And then the roots can come out here and be kind of wiggly as well. And notice how this brush leaves all these nice lines, which kind of gives the bark a nice texture to it. And you can pick up the brush and drop it down again as many times as you need to. Give it some branches coming out. Don't draw the branches all the way out, because remember that tree branches get smaller as they grow outward. So we're going to actually shrink our brush some more by changing the diameter to about half of what it was, down in the teens. And this maybe like 14. And then I can come back in. Ooh, that's too small. We can undo that. We'll come back here maybe to around 20. There, that's pretty good. And we can make those branches come up like this. And it's fall, so all the leaves have fallen off of this tree, which kind of helps it look a little bit more spooky than it otherwise would if it had leaves on it still. That's probably good. So notice all the branches are just kind of wavy lines and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be straight, it doesn't have to be any particular shape, because trees grow in all kinds of shapes. Now we're going to draw a tombstone. So I'm going to choose this one right here, Chalk 2. Actually, no. I think I'll choose Chalk 1. And I'll come down here and choose a nice medium gray color, and that's a little bit small for my brush, so I'm going to change that. Maybe, yeah, 45 looks good. And I will draw a tombstone shape like that. And make a little round thing on top just to make it a little more interesting. And on the tombstone, if we go back to brush 1 and choose black, we can write the letters R-I-P. We'll make the brush really small this time so we can write with it. R-I-P. Do you know what that stands for? You'll have to ask your parents if you don't. But there we go. I know it's kind of hard to draw with a mouse, or write letters with a mouse, I should say. But do your best. Next, we're going to draw the ghosts. So in order to do that, we'll change our brush. Actually, no, we'll keep dry brush 1. We will change the diameter back to 30 something. And to make the ghosts look kind of like they're glowing, it's nice to choose these lighter shades of the swatches that are kind of like pastel colors. I'm going to choose this one right here and draw my first ghost. He's going to be coming right out of the ground right here. See, it already looks kind of like it's glowing in the dark because it's a contrast of a really light color and a dark color. That was his head, and these are his arms reaching up out of the ground. And maybe I'll grab, we'll put his face on in a second. I'll grab this kind of orangish color and I'll draw a ghost right here in front of the tree. With a little head and a little poof sticking up out of his hair. I don't know what that's called. And he's a smaller ghost. That's his body, his little tail because he doesn't have legs, and then his arms reaching out into the air like that. To put faces on them, we just change the diameter down to like 11, choose the color black again, and we can draw faces. And this guy right here, he's kind of happy he's coming out to play. Alrighty. Next, we're going to do the fun part, which is making them look like they're glowing in the dark. We're going to click up here and change our brush one more time to Airbrush 1. And we need to change the diameter to something larger than what we used to draw them. So we'll change it way back up to like 80, maybe 75-ish again. And we want to use the same color that we used on each ghost to make it glow. We don't want a blue ghost glowing pink or something weird like that. So to get the same color, we'll come over here to this eyedropper tool and click on it. That lets us click on any color that we've used and use that color again. And then we'll come up here to the brush tool and, ooh, I forgot one important step. Let me undo that. The opacity. The opacity controls how solid or see-through something is. Right now it's at 100%, so that's as solid as possible. What we want to do is change this dial down to 30 something, 30-ish. And now, if I color with it, it looks very faint. It looks like a glowing light coming off of the ghost. So go around the edges. Don't leave any space between the glow and the ghost. That'll look a little bit weird. And notice we have to use a brush that's wider than the one we use. Otherwise, it's not going to look like it's full of a glow. Now, before I start drawing this ghost glow, I'll go back to the eyedropper tool, click on his color again, come back up to the brush tool, and paint the glow around this ghost. So it's nice to get those background objects in there because it really highlights the change in color that the light is giving to each object. There we have 2 glowing ghosts. You can click on the text tool and click once to make a box, click one more time to type in that box, put your name in the box by typing it, and you are ready to save. Click on File, Save to My Computer. You can choose PNG or JPEG. For this one, we'll probably choose JPEG. Click Save. And that will let you name the file up here. Name it with your name. Call it Ghosts. Oops, not Coasts. Ghosts. And put your room number in there. I'll put 17 for the computer lab. And then you're going to want to find your folder. Since I'm not at school right now, I can't find the rabbit hole or any of our folders, but you know to look for the rabbit hole over here, your class, student projects, your class folders, and then your own folder. I'm just going to put it in here with the glow in the dark series. Click Save, and you are done. Good job.